Where water collects, you go down about 3/4 of a meter down into the ground, and then you create a berm which is like a hill on the other side, which is the purple, and then we're going to plant our fruit trees in there. Okay, so this area are the swales and the berms and the trees. Okay, I'm going to ignore that for the moment. This is our gate. Do you remember that gate? It's a very dilapidated one, but that's, you see my drawing. Then we get, what else do we find? Shrubs. So we get smaller. Should we put a ground cover? Okay, so we've got stuff growing on the ground as well. So look, the more biodiverse the outer edge is, the better the delicate stuff in the middle will work. So we would call this zone 2. It's the hardier stuff. So we're going to plant in this outside area lemon trees, fruit trees, then a smaller type of tree, nut trees. Then we'll do berry bushes, raspberries, blackberries, strawberry, is it? Ground cover. So we will do that. So then we'll do the bush. Our grenadilla and grapes will be the vine. Okay, a path that runs all the way around the outside. Now you see these little areas. Those are sitting areas that will be a teepee. Okay, so a little hut that you guys can hang in. Okay.
So that's a good.
Then on this side will be banana and pawpaw trees with round little areas for you to sit in and have. So then we're going close. I'm going to take you back into the middle. Okay, so we've covered the outside area. These are all going to be cash crops. Things like mealies and rye on the outer skirts, you see? Mealies, pumpkins, things that just can take care of themselves, that you don't need to work too hard with. Then we're going to come closer to very important for biodiversity. So that is on the outside. So you can cross over and come onto your spiral. All these yellow parts are your paths. Okay? Now these are beds with a pathway that goes into the middle of the bed. Each bed is 1.5 meters wide. And you know what we're going to use that for? We're going to make the chicken tractor. Our chickens will have a cage in here where they'll be nice and warm and cozy and safe. But we will make a cage like this that is 1.5 meters, the same width, with wire. Will be covered in wire. Okay, it will look something like this. Round with a base. Okay. Pathways, and then on the outside area we've got all different permaculture methods of making beds. So we've got raised beds, we've got trench beds, we've got tractor tires, we've got keyhole, so people can come here and we can learn all the different ways of growing in the permaculture understanding. Okay, so that when you're older, you'll be able to use any method you want at home. You'll have that information readily available. We will have tanks that are regularly filled up, and then we'll have an irrigation system that runs through the garden. And of course we'll do it as water-wise as we can. Yes? Nina, don't remember Catherine. This should be all laid out in 2 months' time. We won't have it lush, but the beds will be marked out. Okay? So we're going to do a lot of work in the next 2 months. And not only us, we've got people coming to help us because we wouldn't manage just
What are we doing today?
Today we're going to do a room bath. Set up the room bath. Okay. So are there any more questions that I can move on to the room bath? That's what the bath is for. Any questions? Questions? Done? We'll see if they survive on the weekend without us, because it's only for 2 days and we bring them lots of food. Well, otherwise I live down the road and I'll pop in everything. Put this down and just, yeah. We use the liquid and eventually we'll use the permaculture. We'll add that to our garden as a compost. And this assures a very, very healthy garden. We put a lid on the top because the worms need to be warm. Okay? So for the moment we're going to put the food in, then we're going to put cardboard over the top to keep them nice and insulated. This bath, that lid, moves up and down like this very easily, and it's covered with plastic so that the wood doesn't. It's really important when we're recycling is that we recycle our food waste. So I'm going to invite you to organize at home a plastic container that you take to your mom and say, please put the peels in here, please put potato peels in here. First palm on the left hand side. Press that to open again, and press that to lock. Don't run. Big white bucket and a bucket inside the plastic cup. Can I leave my stuff on the floor?
Where are the worms? Where's my worm? Nowhere.
We've got the weather against us.
The rains are going to hit us in about 3 to 5 minutes, so
Yay.
let's quickly do what we need to do because we're going to have to rush.
That's a rain spider, guys. You know what? There is one thing that has really fascinated me about. Nothing to fear. Okay, so here's our net, and I'm a bit concerned about that. We will have to keep an eye on that net because right now our works are only the best.
Together when we
Chunky, this time I'm
Do you want to like there? It's very clean.
You're not slime. Yeah, yours.
Okay, now you can spread it evenly.
Whoa. Smell it.
What was this called?
What's it smell like?
Do you remember what this was called?
Dude, it's coconut stuff.
do it gently so it doesn't
That's the coconut
go over
stuff.
everybody
Well,
else.
it's called cocoa peat. Do you want to come and have a hand in it? Everybody, everyone a turn, please.
Yeah, okay, so everybody just go.
Why do you have to run now?
It's going to rain.
What's up, guys? Stuck.
Making a muffin. Making a muffin. Oh, they're watching like a black one. Black one. Check.
What is it?
Twins. It's swimming around. I thought it would be like a whole bunch of worms. Can I see the worms? It stinks.
And they're over there.
Can I touch one?
It's a bit smelly, this one. It shouldn't be this smelly. No, these are all the worms.
rotten worms.
I don't know about worms. It smells like rotten veggies to me. And they love it.
Can you eat this stuff? Edible anyway.
No, I think it would give you a tummy ache.
Okay, so eat it now. Eat it. You eat it.
It would be hard to chew and then swallow. Oh dear, thanks, Miles.
It smells nice.
Okay, let's.
Oh.
Now this is a little bit smelly. Oh, look at those worms! What we need to say is welcome home. Okay,
Looks
look
so
at
cool,
that.
Tom.
Ooh, look at that. There's a
Tom, wormy.
feed them. Who's got the bucket? We can put onion on, but not too much. But because they're in transition, who knows what in transition means? Is if you have a carpet at home, just a carpet mat, very often we put a lining underneath it, and it's quite thick and spongy. And apparently the worms really like it. It insulates the bath, and we'll always layer that on the top to keep the temperature really right inside. Okay, who could be a volunteer to go get some cardboard?
It's not like
Joe, you could scoot it in here. No, there was a very good question that somebody asked. Are there all types of worms, or is there one we find in our garden? Apparently, somebody has told me that if you put them in your garden, they actually will die because they don't work well with our soil. But they're called the red regular, and they're from Australia, and they make this specific tea. They look exact earthworms do.
wormy.
They're such sweet creatures.
Stink.
They are
Often
so
make an appearance on
precious.
Perfect.
They are so precious. Fear factor.
They often make an appearance on Perfect.
No, once there was a like a blood sauce with maggots in it.
On Amazon water and leeches.
It's clay. That's why we've got to build up the soil very much.
Animal blood.